In this exercise, we are going to start with this sketch and we will end up with this illustration. File, place, exercise 18, check template, place. I'm gonna zoom like this. I'm gonna choose the rectangle tool, set the fill to none, set the stroke to 5 points, and I'm gonna start from here. I'm gonna place the cursor right here. I need to zoom some more for more precision. I'm gonna place the cursor right here, click and drag like this, and then let go. Now I'm gonna choose the pen tool and I'm gonna start drawing the wing of the butterfly. I'm gonna start from here, 1 point here, click and drag like this, click and drag like this, and click and drag like this, click anchor, click and drag like this, click and drag like this. I can even zoom some more, click and drag like this, and click and drag like this. I think this looks fine. Now I'm gonna anchor and I'm gonna close the path. With the direct selection tool, I can go back and make some adjustments if I have to, like this. But I think this wing looks fine. I think the wing looks fine. I'm gonna move to the other parts, draw the inside of the wing. So I'm gonna zoom some more. I'm gonna start from here, click and drag, click here, anchor, click and drag, and click and drag here. Move to the next part, click and drag, anchor, click and drag, and click and drag here, and I close the path. This part, click and drag here, click and drag here, click and drag here, click and drag, click and drag, and now I can close the path like this. With the direct selection tool, of course, I can always come back and maybe make some adjustments if I have to. But I think this looks fine. Go back to pen tool, click and drag. No, this is wrong. Control Z. I need to make 1 point here, click and drag, click and drag, and now I can do click and drag like this and close the path. Now this part, click and drag, click and drag, and click and drag here, go up, click. I'm gonna bend it a little bit. I want a line that's curved a little bit. I don't want a straight line. Then click here, anchor, click and drag like this, click and drag like this. Then I can close the path, click and drag like this, and of course with direct selection tool I can maybe make some adjustments. Can move the handles, can move this handle a little bit, this handle a little bit. I'm gonna keep this like that. Go back to pen tool, continue, click, click and drag here, click and drag here, click and drag here, and now I can click and drag like this. Direct selection tool, maybe I can adjust this a little bit. I think this looks good. Move to the next, click, click and drag, anchor, click and drag, and click and drag here, click, click. Now this is not gonna work. Control Z. I have to make 3 more points, not just 1 point. 1, 2, and 3. Now I can close like this. And for this, I'm gonna use the ellipse tool. It's very simple. Make an ellipse like this and rotate it a little bit. Maybe change the size like this. Another one like this. Rotate it a little bit. Control, and I can move. And one last ellipse right here. Rotate it and change the size like this. Okay, now I'm gonna draw this part. Pen tool. I'm gonna start from here. Click. Gonna move here and click. Control Z. Control Z. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna zoom out so you can see clearly what I did. So 1 point here. 1 point here. I make sure I follow the line of the rectangle. Then I'm gonna zoom a little bit like this. Click and drag right here. Click and drag right here. 1 click here. Click and drag right here. Click. Click and drag. Click. click. Gonna zoom for this one. Click and drag like this, and now I can go ahead and close the path like this. Direct selection tool, I can maybe make some adjustments to this part like this. Can maybe adjust this part. I'll make sure everything looks fine. Yes. And now we finished drawing this half of the butterfly, this half of the illustration. Now I'm gonna do some coloring. First, I'm gonna start with the wing. I'm gonna set the stroke to none, set the fill to white. I'm gonna select the rectangle, set the stroke to none, set the fill to black. This part, gonna make it white, and the stroke none. And now I'm gonna select everything that's inside the wing. I'm gonna select everything like this. I'm gonna press shift, deselect the rectangle and deselect the wing. Now we're only left with these parts. That's what we want. I'm gonna click on swap fill and stroke, and now we have the illustration with black and white. I'm gonna show you a new tool that we haven't seen before. I'm gonna select everything like this. We all know the rotate tool. Inside we have reflect tool. I'm gonna set the center by clicking here. I'll make sure I click on this vertical line, and now I can press Alt and duplicate like this, and I go until I reach 90 degrees like this, or Control Z. A more accurate way, I can press Alt, make sure this is exactly on the vertical line, press Alt, and then make one click, axis vertical, angle 90 degrees, and then don't click on OK, click on copy. And now we have another copy. And now we have a complete illustration, black and white. So this is very similar to rotate tool, but what it does, it reflects the shapes. Gonna go back to selection tool. Now we no longer need the template. I can go ahead and hide it. Now we're gonna do some coloring, but this time using the color guide. So I'm gonna open the color guide by clicking here, or you can go to window, look for color guide, and then click. So we have color guide. I'm gonna double click and click on H here, and I'm gonna set the color to this shade of blue, right here, and I'm gonna click on OK. Now here we have different harmony rules. I'm gonna show you some examples. And for this exercise, we are going to use the first one, complementary. So I click on complementary, and I'm gonna explain a little bit what this means. So I'm gonna open edit colors. Here we have the blue we chose. On the color wheel, this is the color wheel, we have the blue, and the exact opposite of this color is this yellow right here. So here we have different shades of the blue I chose, and we have different shades of the opposite color, which means the yellow right here. I'm gonna click on this part, and I'm gonna click on this wing, and I'm gonna color it with blue. I'm gonna click on this wing, the other wing, and color it with the opposite color, the yellow. I'm gonna click on this part, and I'm gonna choose a lighter shade of yellow. I'm gonna click on this part and choose a lighter shade of blue. I'm gonna click on this part and choose a darker shade of yellow. I'm gonna click on this part and choose a darker shade of blue, like this. Now I'm gonna select all the black parts here inside the wing. So I'm gonna select everything like this. Now I'm gonna press shift, deselect the rectangle, and deselect the wing. Now we're only left with the black parts. That's what we want. And I'm gonna color all these parts with this shade of yellow, same shade as the wing. I'm gonna do the same thing right here. Select everything, press shift, deselect the rectangle, deselect the wing, and now I'm gonna color it with this shade of blue, same shade as this wing. Now the exercise is finished. You go do the same, and don't forget to save.